I could not change the slide. Now I can. Okay, very well. So the program will bring us to introduce the call, then do a prelude of the project design through a framework approach called Naomi, a logical framework approach called Naomi. Then we will go directly to the application and see in detail how to fill in and submit the application with different subtitles that are some general tips, content, assessment tips, example, and scoring. But before doing so, I would like to give the occasion to Louise to introduce herself, because we have the chance to be with someone presenting the Royal Academy. So please, Louise, could you please tell us a few words to introduce yourself?
Yes, so hi everyone. It's nice to have you all here. I'm in a room together with Meredith Etheridge, who's the international manager, and I think all of you have had some emails from me. So my name is Louise Olofsson, and I'm the project manager for GCRF Africa Catalyst. So I will be here for the whole webinar and for the Q&A at the end as well.
Thank you, Louise. Please do not hesitate to jump in whenever you want to emphasize on something that we're discussing during the presentation. So going directly to the call, as you can see, this first slide, there is the application and award process. Have been the call has been sent, has been launched on the 14th of September. We're going to focus on two elements from what you've seen in the program. The project design, that is the second framework you can see there, and fill in and submit application. Basically, creating partnership would bring something else that like you would have to focus on yourself. Here you can see that project design should come along with create partnership, because for a simple reason, when you have a project, it's either brought through partnership or a project enable you to find partners to go on with the application. So basically here we're going to focus on the project design and filling in the and submit the application. So let's go to project design. That is a prelude to every project application. I'm with my laptop. Okay, good. So project design, the logical framework approach called Naomi will be detailed to you. Naomi is actually an acronym that brings the different elements and the different steps of the logical framework. And you can see here from what like first letter stands for each word. Needs, analysis for the N, aims, objectives, methodology, and evaluation. Basically, this is the way we're going to read this specific logical framework. To do so, we're going to ask ourselves different questions to be able to answer those different elements of this acronym. First, you see that like from the bottom you have the community that we're addressing, that we're discussing for, that we want to work with. And here the question is by whom? To be very clear, it is somehow a subjective question, because we could have also said for whom. The idea is that like we want to have the people and it is maybe a tendency from my side to have like the people who are involved in the project that are concerned by it. First thing, you have to focus on the target group. Which target group do you want to address? Then, to answer to the question, to understand what are needs in the needs analysis, you have to answer why. And here, through different questions, you can understand where you're going with this. Why is your project needed? Why is it relevant? Why should everybody be interested in it? Basically, you have like those different elements that would enable you to articulate properly the needs to be able to both bring on board partners, stakeholders, and also articulate it in a way that like it will be understood by the funding part, co-financement bodies, everyone that could be like a stakeholder to this specific project. And you see that in this arrow that brings us to the aim, you have the personal motivation and the institutional priorities. To make it easier for you to follow, you can also go through the material that like has been given to you with Haja on Naomi. You have like the different details of every steps. So let's go to the aim. After answering to those different questions on why, we have to answer to the question, what for? What is the change your project will reach out? The aim has like some specificity. It is a unique aim. Here, your aims, it is actually saying that like when you want to achieve something, you have like an aim that is it's broken down to different objectives that are the what. And those objectives are elements that will enable you to reach the aim. I'll give you a small example. I mean, like when we talk about an aim, it's something very general. It's something very, I would say, utopic, but at the same time, I would like to say also that it's something that we would really like to reach. For example, we want to end poverty. It's an aim. To do so, we're going to find ways to either feed a village in a small country is one of the objectives. It doesn't mean that you have reached your aim, but you walked toward it. Different objectives to actually reach this aim would be, for example, so feeding this small village in a small country, also enabling a certain group of people to produce food and enable them to work. Those are two objectives to reach the aim of ending poverty, for example. And objectives have like something different from the aim. They need to be what we call SMART. They have to be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timed. You see the difference between like the aim and the objectives now? The aim has to be something that you tend to have in parts, and it's a unique thing, when the objective needs to enable you to know that you've reached a point toward the aim. And for that, you have to answer the question for yourself, what exactly are you going to do in order to achieve your aim? This is how we handle that. Then you go to the methodology. The methodology is answering to the question, how? How exactly you will achieve your objectives? Through what comes after? How it is the methodology. As soon as you have like the methodology defined, you go to the plan of activities, because you have like the whole theory put in place, meaning that like you discussed the different elements that enable you to now discuss properly how you're going to make that into a plan of activities and reach the implementation of it afterward. So the plan of activities, that will be the next step. Where will you do it? Through what you're going to do that? When, where, what, and how will you will implement your project. So meaning like different elements, sessions, workshops, campaigns, meeting, different elements that enable you to reach those objectives that bring you toward your aim. Doing so, you have planned everything. Now you go to the phase of implementation. And the implementations, to be able to implement your project, you will need a certain number of details. With what? With whom? All the material, the people, the time, the financial aspects, the technical aspects, the strategy, partnership needed. All those elements are different elements of your resources. Here's something. Hello? I was hearing something. Yeah. So basically, when you have this, through the process, you are monitoring at the different steps of the implementation what are the different elements reached, and if your plan of activities is implemented properly, those elements are crucial for you for the following up activities, the different elements that will bring you to actually be more and more efficient. Basically, after that, you go to evaluation. When the whole project is done, you will have to evaluate this project. Doing so, you'll go back to every question you've answered when preparing the activity, when preparing the project, and when implementing it. And you will answer again with now like actual answers from the reality, from what happened, instead of like what you thought will happen, what you thought being part of the answer. Now you have elements that were occurred in the reality that help you to actually evaluate that. It is very important to go through this step because it enable you to at the end get out of it not only something to report on, but also a huge amount of knowledge for following up activities, for example, or for the future perspectives that you would like to continue on doing so. As we've said, the project turns to objectives that are bringing you toward an aim. If you want to reach one day the aim, it is by evaluating every time you do an activity and at the end continuing toward this aim to be able to reach it. So here it was a very succinct manner to bring the Naomi logical framework approach. We could go on details about that, but then that won't let us enough time to actually look at the application on its own. You'll have the occasion to ask questions about it at the end, so please do not hesitate to keep those questions aside, and we're going to look at them after. Okay? So I'll pass the floor to Najat. For the next part where it is filling in and submitting the application.
Okay, thank you, Karim. First of all, so you have to know when you apply and you fill in an application. Yeah, for example, let's see that I'm Luis and I get your application. So you have to know that I know nothing about you, nothing about your organizations, nothing about your project. So you have to be very clear because I'm not familiar with the organizations. So bear in mind that it's someone who doesn't know anything about your project, about you. Even you are going to surf on the website or looking at the Facebook what you are doing. It seems the organization has to be clear how they are going to write the application. This is the one element that usually the applicant forgets, because they think because there's too much inside the application, they write the application and they think that everyone can understand what they are writing. This is one point. And you have also to be very confident at each step while you are filling the application. So if you look at the first slide here, it's the online system. Luis, if you have if you would like to jump on any step of this slide, let me know. Huh? So this is when you log in on your on this Royal Academy Engineering grant, you have first of all, before arriving on this page, you have to log in, so to register a profile where you put your name, the name of your organization, the contact detail, etc. So it's something that I don't need to tell you. Here you can see I register as Najat Kawas. Then you see you have to click on the application in progress, because it's the African Catalyst application that is concerning here. For the second slide. Then you got, when you click on the application grant, you can see that we have in front of us the progress of the application. So now we are in the page of contact details for the project itself, because we have to know that even you apply as Najat Kawas, for which organization you are applying. So you have to put the name of your organization, because it could be you could apply for different organizations if you want. Luis also, I don't know if we as an applicant, me as Najat Kawas, can I apply for two organizations at the same time or not?
Sorry about that, that was on mute. You have to apply through an organization, and you can submit one application per person.
So even I have 3 or 4 organizations, it's only one organization is eligible.
It depends a little bit on how you do it. So when you come down into the partnership page later on, one partner can partner with more than one organization, but the lead applicant can only be the lead applicant on one application.
Okay, thank you. So now we fill our organization. We put all the details that the founders needed. Now we go to the next page. And before starting to fill the content of the application, as Karim mentioned, we need first the concept note. And the Naomi tool, it's a way how we can already write all the ideas and based on all the elements that we want for the project. It's something that we need before. Because later I will tell you why, because we are limited in terms of character and words within the box. But before starting filling the application, you have to begin earlier. Why begin earlier? It means that we have first to designate one coordinator. It's only the purpose is to have a good management. Because if you are going to contact or to work with different people and different partners, we need to manage all the information. We need to get all the attachments that will be attached to the application. We need to work on the budget. We need to agree on the content also. So it's something that one person can do it. Because if you have different persons doing the same things, at the end it could be a mess. Also, we have to read many times the application and the guidance notes. Now it will be the first time for you that you are going through all the application and the guidance notes. But after this webinar, I hope you will again read very properly the guidance notes, so that you can also if you have still questions or any comments, you can still contact Louise, the founders, to help you and to guide you to the application. Then, when you went through this step, you also should answer all the questions. So, which means you have to break down each question in mini questions. So you have to ask, especially with the tool Naomi, it helps you also to understand what exactly I want to achieve, what exactly is the need, and how I can implement the project. So this is something that you are going to do it while you are going to write the application. Then, of course, after that, this step, you have also, in order not to lose or to forget this aspect, you have to establish a checklist of administrative documents to be filled, signed originally, because usually mainly I can see, because Karim and myself, we assessed many applications in the past, and usually we rejected the application because we didn't get the attachment, we didn't get the letter of commitment, we didn't get the letter of commitment signed originally, for example, and it's something that will be a pity because the application is good, but because you don't provide, for example, the budget, you don't provide the letter of commitment, you don't provide the a different attachment that we have to provide, it makes you that your application is rejected. Yes, usually people that don't understand why it's rejected because they think it's the quality of the project, but in fact it's just administrative reason. So bear in mind that all these aspects, these elements, has to be really fit. And then, of course, when you finish the application at the end, but we will come back later on each step of the application, you have to keep a copy. Because if you read already the guidance notes, later on the stage, in November, they will contact you again for asking more questions or clarification on the application. This is mainly how we see when we there is some noise the background. Hello?
It seems that it's coming from you.
We are inside, so there is no photos.
Because it seems that only your mic is on.
Okay, it's ready. Okay, now it's gone. Okay, perfect. And also, when you finished up, filling the application, before submitting the application, you should get someone to read your application, but someone who never read the application, who never have any clue the application, so that it can tell you if you are going the right side or if you fit with the objective of the grant, the funders, but also with the organization. Then also you have to speak to the funders, as I said before. because they're also good, for helping you to fill in. So don't be afraid to ask questions. There is no strict question. Everything, is relevant for you because it depends on, your project itself. So if you look here, so we have different steps. If you look, the page summary, we have first, you have to fill the contact details, the project details, the partners, because you have to look for the partners also, the monitoring and evaluation, the budget, and at the end, reference and declaration is like you have to tick saying that you are declaring that everything inside is true, etc. But we are going to, later on this. This is one. Now this is a simulation that I made when I filled the application. So I'm just applying for this grant. I made it for this webinar purpose. So when you don't fill, because also you have to watch out when you don't fill and when you submit or save the current page, it means they give you knowledge, saying that either you miss like a box, either there is not enough, there is too much character, because for each section you have a maximum of characters. For example, here in front of us we have the reference. You can only enter 200 words maximum. It's something also that we have to bear in mind, which means that when you write the concept note, with the Naomi tool, is something that you can write 30 pages, so that you can be very accurate and clear when you think your project. But when you are going to fill the application, you are limited by the characters, by the words. So it doesn't mean that you have just to copy paste. You have to summarize. For example, when you do like the activities, you will have a specific words to put inside the box. You keep the main activities you put on your concept note, but summarize it in order that you can fit with the limits of the box. Because then, don't forget, after November, they will anyway contact you if they need more clarification on some specific elements. So,
sorry, can I just jump in? Sorry, can I just jump in there and say, highlight the dates for that again? So after the application is submitted, we will have a panel reviewing, and then we're going to go back with specific questions between the 21st and 25th of November. So please be mindful that we might be sending additional questions if you've been submitting applications, so available to respond to any questions that week.
And then we have it on the application and award process in front of you. You can see its opportunity to provide more information from the 22 to 25 November. So thank you, Liz, for the reminder. So here, why I put at this stage again the objectives, because when we write either the concept note or the grant, the application, we have to put in our mind every time the objectives, so that we can fit with the objectives of the funders, but also with the objectives of our organizations, and also we have to put the link between the aims and the funders. And particularly when you are working on the activity timetables, which is the action plan, how you are going to implement it in terms of timeline. So every time, don't hesitate to remind the objectives. Here, it's saying that you can choose between 1 or 2, so between 1 or 4, sorry. So at least one objective has to be fit in your application. So the first objective of this grant is to build engineering capacity by improving engineering education at all levels to meet recognized international standards. This is one objective. The second one is to support the development of professional engineering institutions, councils, associations. They can effectively support the profession and promote the professionalism. The third one is support the Federation of African Engineering Organizations in its leadership role across the continent. And the last one is strengthen the evidence base for the world's greatest engineering institution, play in driving development such as mapping engineering capacity in Africa. And also for the countries, I mean the sub-Saharan Africa, if you look at the guidance note, you will have all the countries listed. So you can see if your country is eligible. So here, I mean, Louise, what you will advise for this objective? Do it, I mean, because you said at least one of the objectives has to be fit in the application. Do you think if, I mean, we fit with the fourth, it will give us more chance to be granted?
As long as the project fits one of the objectives, that's fine, and you can submit an application. I mean, if it's meeting more than one objective and specifically the fourth one together with one of the ones, that's obviously building a stronger application. But as long as it fits one objective, that's fine.
Okay, thank you. When you write application, now we come here for the right moment to think how we are going to write the application properly. As Kari mentioned before through the Naomi tool, we have to be clear, detailed and analytical. Because later on the application, they will ask you different, I mean, questions. You have also to provide different justification and background. But also, we have to mention and to argue which kind of methods and which kinds of data collection that you are going to use. So then, when we said that we have to be clear, detailed, it doesn't mean that we have just to put blah blah blah. Because it's nice to put some words, it's nice to put some buzzwords, but you have to be clear in terms of when we detail each step of the project. The funders have to understand the flow, the links between each part. If you need to put like 2 sentences more in one place, so put it. It's something that it's how the funders, especially the assessor, to understand why you meaning this. It's something that is quite important, and usually the rational part, if you look at the please provide background and justification for your project, you should be very clear why you want, I mean, what is the need, why your organization needs to implement this project. And then also, when you say again, we'll say it again and again and again, you need to link the goal, so the aim, between your objective, the objective of the project, and the objective of Africa Catalyst. It's something that usually, when we are assessor, we look for. We say, okay, that's why the project is nice, but what is the link between them and between the Africa Catalyst? So then we have also to be creative, to put some potential keywords, to be also logical, because it doesn't mean scientific. For example, we start at the beginning the first evaluation, and at the end of the project, there is not at all an evaluation, an assessment moment for saying, okay, what will be the follow-up of this project? Something that usually project together, or
Okay, Benedict, I'm muting your mic because there's a lot of background noise. So please don't unmute it. Keep it mute, otherwise there's too much background noises.
okay. So, I was, talking about the rationale, justification, etc., and also about the activities. Activities, you have to be very in terms of what will be the output, what will be the outcome, what will be the impact, but also in terms of schedule. When exactly? Who will be in charge? Because later on, I will talk about the partners later on, but also who is going to take over this responsibility? You, the organizer, the partners, or like all the stakeholders. So it's something that in terms of action plan, you have to be clear. You have, to plan everything. Even the meetings to the kickoff meeting or the preparation for the meeting, he has to be there to understand why we need to have this moment to implement and to launch the project. So all the phases of the project lifestyle has to be respected. So first, we need a good preparation. So we have to explain what will be the preparation. Secondly, when we are going to implement, you need to tell how and where with whom, etc. And then evaluation, it will be on the every phases, because we have to assess every step of our projects. Now the partners. The partners here, I mean, it's quite important also, because the partners is also the key element for the project itself. Because here, when we collaborate with the partners, especially here they advise us to work with the UK-based partner, is something that we need to think before applying. Because you cannot, fill in the application and then call the partner and tell them if they want to join your project. Okay, it's happened because sometimes organizations, they don't have time or it's last minute, but as an assessor, we can feel it. When for example, when I read the application, I can feel that the partner was not part of the writing of the application. So I will advise you to first of all look for the partners. Look with them how you can collaborate on this project. It could be one objective, and then we brainstorm how you are going to implement the project, and then start with them to clearly say, okay, what will be their role and their responsibility. It's something that it's a necessary step that they have to do. Now we are on the 21st of October. The deadline will be on the 9th of November, so you still have time to look for the partner. Here also, Louise can also help, can be also very useful for helping you to find the right partners in UK. If you are struggling finding your partners, because the rank network is quite big, so they can also provide you different partners. So don't hesitate again to call the founders to ask to help you to find the partners. And if not, you can also look to adapt, look to around you who can help you to find the right partner for your project. And also for the partners, you need also to provide a letter of commitment. This letter of commitment is something that especially here. I like the way that they put here, because usually the different funders, they don't put it. They just put it as like an agreement letter. Then you have to put the title of the project, and the partners have to sign it and send it as an attachment. But here it's clearly said that you have to justify what will be the commitment of the partners, the role, responsibility, and how they are going to be involved in the project. Now, the monitoring and evaluation. Here we are in terms of more about the implementation of the project, what will be the outcomes, impact, but also what will be the indicators. So the indicators, if you look at the indicators, is how to measure whether you're achieving your outcomes and your outputs. But also in terms of output, it's the benefits of the project as a result of your work, of your project. Because when you are doing a project, you have to ask why I'm doing this project. It's just not only providing data, which is more related to outputs, because outputs it's more about providing quantity data, like numbers. How, for example, if you are working on, example, human rights training, I don't know what, or in terms of capacity building, you have to show them how you increase the number of people using these services. This is an output, but in terms of outcome, it's more about the knowledge. How you increase in someone's knowledge related to engineering in terms of capacity building. It's something that usually people they are confused between outputs and outcomes. Because later on, if you look at the data collection methods, it's something that you can use of outputs. You have also mentioned which kind of tools, methods that you are going to use as a data collection. So it could be a survey, it could be a research, it could be interviews, it could be different things. So also you have to think about that. Maybe when you are looking for partners, look for what is missing in your organization as skills, competencies that they can help and they can support you in the project. Because it's nice also to have a UK partnership, because it just enhances your chance to get the grant. But if you can see how the new partners can, be involved in the project by just fit the gap. It will be also for you less work, but also new resources for your network and for your organization, and also maybe a new way of working and methodology, because every day we are learning, and it's something that also organization, because they don't have time, they just forget this step, and they say, okay, we will think later on how the partners will be involved in the project. So which sometimes is one of the elements. Again, I will say it. Maybe you will say that I'm saying too much, but I will say it again. We as an assessor, we can feel the application when we read your, in details the application, because we have the tools, we have the key to look at exactly if we are eligible or not in terms of the content. But also in terms of the indicators, you have to the evaluation plan. So as I said before, there is preparation, implementation, and evaluation. Evaluation is all the time. You have also through your activity plan moments where you assess your project just to adapt it, just to see if I'm taking the right direction, and also how will I know if the program is working and if the program has been successfully. If the program is going well, because I can also literally adapt it through the needs. Because, for example, after 1 month, 2 months, we implemented the project, but at the end we realized that the needs of the target group, for example, doesn't fit with the context where we put the project. Because at this time, for example, in 2016, the context was that we need more capacity building in developing engineering competencies, and then we need that maybe we need more infrastructure. With this capacity building, so more equipment, more etc. 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 So it's something that you assess along the project, and then I will not say the most important. The element that is sometimes giving you headaches, it's money. Money is something that when the organization, they just feel it by themselves, but not with the partners. Something that also you have to put in bear in mind, that when you fill the budget, you have to have review the activity plan and the voice of your partners. How they are going to be involved in this budget, and how you are going to manage it, the budget. Because writing a budget is one thing, but when you got the grants, managing the budget is another thing. It's something that usually people they don't think, they just fit it according to the needs of the project and according to the needs of the organization. So the budget here also, if you look at the budget, we have the revenue cost, capital cost, and the total. I would also advise you take the activity plan and step by step, one by one, you look for the step. For example, activity 1, what do you need exactly as a money, as a cash? What do you need? You need like I don't know, renting a room, paying the staff, travel, accommodation, food, equipment. So put it. And then for the step 2, for example, like you implementing the capacity training, you need to get speakers, you need to get trainers, you need to get also tools. So you need to write and design and publish tools or toolkit or publication that will be used during the project. You need marketing. So think about everything. And for that, you should just brainstorm. Just take a flip chart, like one paper, and put everything. It's a good exercise, because when you do this exercise once, then you can do it for all any grant, any project that you are doing in the future. It's help you. It's a good exercise that you can use it every time, everywhere. So tell me if I'm speaking too quick. Yeah? Okay. So now we finish the Orbit application. Let's say that now we fill it. It's online. It's submitted. Now we send to our grants. So the funders get the application. and they have like a scoring, how they are going to evaluate, to assess your project. Here you have an example that you use usually at different level. It could be like public or private company. It's something that it's the main point that we assess the project. Usually we focus on the relevance of the project, the methodology, which methodology, method, and tools you are going to use. It's related to the activity plan and how you are going to sustain the project, how you are going to maintain, and how you are going to follow up the project. Especially when the project is finished, what will be the next step? It's something that as a assessor, we need to know, because okay, it's 6 months. You are going to implement a very great, amazing project, and then what will be the next? It's something that one element that the founders like to see that okay, we give them give them a grant for this project, but then they also think about the follow-up. What will be the next? How they are going using this project for the future too? How they are going to multiply? As Karim said before, we need a multiplying effect. How we are going to have an impact on the society, on the injury network. This is something also we have to know. Then the budget, the financial and operational capacity is just to know if we are capable to run this project also with your partners. This is more like objective data, and methodology. It's I will say quality data. Relevant methodology is quality data. And then if you look at how the African Catalyst is assessing, it's in line with this kind of example. They are looking to your objective scheme, the quality of the application, which is the relevance and the methodology, and if it's achievable. If it's feasible, so it's more about sustainability, but also related also to the budget. And then I will not go through all the questions or the different points, but you can see when we assess, we have this kind of framework, and we have just to put points. So we are not even writing, just putting our argument why, how you define your target group, for example, how you sell your project. We just put notes, and it's just helpful for us at the end to have like an average and to know exactly. It's just something that usually we do it. This is just an example for you, but Luis, maybe you can just mention something related to the scoring.
Yes, so I think it's important to highlight those questions here and not the questions that we're looking at when we're assessing a proposal for the GCRF Africa Catalyst. It's more, as I was mentioning before, so the quality of the project, the rationale for the project, and the feasibility of the project, as well as if it's, have you been looking at value for money in the budget, for example. So it's slightly larger questions, but it's the same kind of concept where it's a scoring system.
Okay, and also something that we like also. I'm always talking as an assessor. So something that we like also, innovation. So we put it, look at the bonus additional comment extra. Does the proposition have an USP, unique selling proposition? It's more about business element here, but it's something that how you can make your project unique. Why should I give you money for your project? So you have to convince me that your project is unique. I'm bringing a more innovative aspect to the society, to your project, to your organization, but also to how you see this capacity building. It's something that also you can also think about that, and how it could be anything. Something that I don't know, maybe doing like using these terms of storytelling to work with engineering network is something that is make you special on the project. Then if it makes you special, then I will be more thinking that your project could be one of the way of changing the way of working, for example. So also it's something that usually people, they don't think because they don't have time, they just want to put their project because they have a work program 2016, they don't have to think a new project, but sometimes you should have like this moment only to think what could be the future of my organization through this project. And it's also related to the follow-up of the project because, I mean, even it's not innovative, even it's not unique, you can mention it in the follow-up. That right now in this step, for the next 6 months, we are going to just achieve these objectives. But according to the assessment we do at the end of the project, we have this idea, and this idea will be implemented if we have this It's something that also you can do it because you don't have the capacity. Because also don't put too much. You have a very good motivation, but don't dream. So be realistic, saying that okay, we can do this in 6 months, but maybe after 6 months we can also implement it. We will see. And then be realistic, but also don't dream or saying that we can do this. At the end, the grant is accepted, and then when the grantor is assisting you and asking the report, half the project is not met. So it's something that also is making you not in good way for applying for the future. So you have also to show that you are professional and you can lead this kind of project in terms of quality. Now it's the end, so it's your turn, so let's get to work and let's go again to the application, read it again twice so that you can understand every step, and you can ask now your questions if you have any comment or remark or question to Karim, myself, and Luis. Thank you.
Thank you, Najat and Karim. Thank you. That was really informative. So maybe the way we will sort of manage the questions is if anyone who has a question can send us a message, and then we will unmute their mic just to make it easier, because if everyone speaks at the same time, then we won't hear each other. Would that be all right?
Okay.
So if you have a question, just send me a message, and with your name, and then I will unmute. I will unmute you. So in the meantime, just before we go to the question, I completely forgot to introduce Adept and Afford. So as Najat mentioned, there is a possibility for us to help you find a partner in the UK if you haven't found already one. So Adept is the Africa-Europe Diaspora Development Platform. We are a project funded by the EU and the Swiss Agency for Development, SDC. So it's a project delivered by Afford, and Adept will become a permanent platform in about 6 months, and it will be transferred to Brussels with a permanent office. So Adept is a platform for the African diaspora organizations across Europe that work in development in Africa. So this platform is made to create partnership between African diaspora organizations in Europe and with organizations in Africa, but also to create partnership between mainstream organizations and African diaspora organizations. So we do that. We also provide support to diaspora organizations and to African governments and to organizations in Africa. So that's us. Now, we have a question from Oluremi Olatubosun. So let me see if I can unmute you so that you can ask your question. Otherwise, I will just read it for you. So you are unmuted.
Okay. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, my question is what type of UK institution is an eligible partner in this program? For instance, a UK higher institution. Would that be an eligible partner like a university in the UK?
guess I should respond to that question. And we're keeping the type of partnerships and partners very open because we want to see different ideas, but I would say that a UK university is an ideal partner.
Another question?
I have another question from Sandra Diarra. Okay, let me see. Sandra, you would have to unmute yourself. Yeah.
Yes, I did. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. My question is on the commitment letter. Do you have any specifics that should go into the commitment letter? Or better still, do you have a sample of it for us to submit? And my second question is on the limiting on the words when uploading on the application. I feel that in the process, a good sense of the proposal might be lost to the assessors because of this limitation in wording, in the words. So are you prepared to review that to enable applicants to really put forward their ideas? Because by cutting too much, I know it's a time consuming for the assessors to go over 10 pages, 14 pages, but it's for a good cause. The applicant will try to convey his or her message the most clear possible, as clear as possible. So these are my two questions for now.
Thank you for your question, Sansan. For the commitment letter, it's more just for them to outline that the UK partners you've stated have agreed to work with you in whatever capacity it is that you have agreed. It might, because partnerships can look very different, it's just for them to simply outline that they have agreed to work with you in the capacity that you're stating that they will be doing. Don't have an example of it yet, unfortunately, as it is the first round. But if you have any questions specifically on the commitment letter once it's been written, just please send me an email, or you can always email me with an attachment and ask if this is sufficient if you want any comments on it beforehand. On the question regarding word limits and if there's anything we can do about that, unfortunately not. I'd like to refer back to what Najat was mentioning about, having you writing an application in a Word document for yourself, because it's always good to have all the details and know how you are going to deliver the project, but then to pick out the key points and highlights and write a really good summary. And then that is why we have also built in the extra time. If there's anything that we feel might not have been coming through in this because there is a word limit, then we can ask those questions in that.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
We have another question from Naomi. I'll try to unmute her. Yes, you are unmuted.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, but if you don't mind, can you please speak a bit louder because you're quite faint.
Sure. Thank you very much for the presentation. I just had a couple of questions. Can a UK university be a lead project partner? And also, are we limited to one application per project? And then just a final question, if we have a project that's running beyond June 2017, are there possible funding opportunities in the future that we could apply for to sort of extend the project or make it sort of a longer term project?
Thank you, Naomi.
Thank you, Naomi. I think the UK institution can't be the lead applicant. Unfortunately, it has to be it has to be an organization, council, association, or institute based in sub-Saharan Africa that's the lead applicant. UK partners can be partnering with more than one applicant. So I hope that responds to that question. On the funding available after June 2017, this is a pilot stage, so we are looking at doing larger scale projects after June 2017, and hopefully this is going to lead us to creating some good networks and having more collaborative work happening after June 2017 as well.
Okay, thanks. So we have another question from Oluremi. Try.
Okay. What description do you actually need on the partners? Is it just a description of the roles of the partners in the project, or a description of the organizations that are involved in the project?
That's a very good question. I mean, it's good to know who the partner is, obviously, but for the letter of commitment, it's more about what type of partnership it is and that they have agreed. Because if it's a UK partner especially, we will be able to look them up. But if you're working with other partners based in Sub-Saharan Africa that we might not be aware of, it would be also good to have a short introduction to who they are. Absolutely.
Okay, so the roles of the partners will actually be more in the letter of commitment rather than in the form itself.
Yeah, I mean, I would advise, depending on what the partnership looks like, because we have decided to keep it so open and for the lead applicant to kind of design what the partnership should look like, because we want it to be a beneficial partnership. I mean, if it's a partnership that's very closely aligned, that they're going to be part of, actually implementing the project and working very closely with you, I would definitely ask you to get them involved in writing the actual application. And I would, in all cases, suggest that you get the partner to read the application before it's submitted.
Okay. If I may ask another question, with regard to the reference part, who is an eligible referee? Do we just need to include the name of the referee, or do we get somebody to write a reference for the project?
No, it's more to see someone who's been working with your organization or institute previously, just contact details of them so that we are able to contact someone to kind of talk about your work and see what you have done in the past.
Ah, okay.
And
okay, that clarifies that. Thank you.
Thank you. I had a message, a private message here about my contact details. And if there's someone who does not have my contact details, I can send them out in an email to everyone who has attended this seminar afterwards, so that you're able to follow up with any additional questions.
We have another question as well from Naomi. So I'll unmute her.
Great. Just a quick question about that, submitting the application and drafting it. Does it have to be the lead partner that submits the application, or can, like for example, can we do it on their behalf as the UK partner?
Hi, I think I can probably address that one. So the application requires a lead applicant to be named in the form, and that will need to be the African partner. Obviously, our system involves login details that can easily be shared between partners to make sure everybody is content with what's being written and submitted. So you could be as involved as you wanted in the drafting, but the submission would come from the lead applicant, which would need to be based on subsequent.
Louise?
Yes?
Yeah, I'm just wondering for the letter of commitment, how many pages we can have maximum? Because I was thinking, since we are limited in words, we have to send the box. Can you, because we have also to mention what will be the role and responsibility of the partnership within the activity plan. Can we use these letters to maybe to give more justification there or not? Because it's an attachment, so we are not limited by the character.
That is very true. I would advise you to not write a really long letter, but keep it to a maximum of 1-2 pages, because it's really an outline on how the partnership's going to work. So, yeah, don't try to fit everything in to the partnership letter just because there's no word limit on that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so we have another question from Canieto. Do you want to ask the question yourself, or should I just read what you wrote? Okay, I'll just read. Okay, so you want to ask, so can you please unmute yourself? We can't hear you.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Oh, yes. It seems like I joined late. I'm in Botswana, and I understand that we are 2 hours apart, so I just joined at 3:30 my local time. But it seems like you ended the presentation immediately as I joined. But I would like to ask, did you say you can help us get a UK partner? Because I've been trying to contact institutions that I've worked with before, but they haven't responded.
Okay, so first of all, I will share the recording of the webinar, so you would not miss anything. So I will share that, and you will be able to catch up on everything that was said previously. And regarding assistance, so this is not something official or anything like that, because we're not really involved in this grant. But if the need is there, we will be happy to assist you, if that's okay. Obviously, with Louise and the Royal Academy of Engineering, I think we can try to arrange that. So yeah. So
okay,
you would
because we have been in touch with the Institution of Mechanical Engineers and also Institution of Civil Engineers, but to contact them on this project, but I haven't got any response so far.
Okay, so we can discuss that later. So you would have my email, and we will see how we can support you regarding that matter.
Okay.
Also, to jump there, obviously, thank you very much, Asha, for offering to help find partners. That's very helpful if you're able to do that. So we really appreciate that.
Yeah.
And also to reiterate that if there is anyone, we are also obviously very happy to try to find partners, suitable partners. So feel free to send me an email at any time if there's anything that you need help with.
Thank you.
Great. And then we have Benedict Egmont as well, who wants to ask a question. So let me unmute you. Yeah, you can go ahead.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hello.
Yeah. Hi, good afternoon.
Yes, hello. Okay.
Good afternoon.
I will. There's the Ghana Institution of Engineering. I will mute you as there's a lot of background. So if you want to ask a question, just send me a message and I will unmute you then. Is that all right?
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, the question I've got is the letter of commitment, because I'm actually proposing something to do with my project supervisor who I've done projects with here in the UK at the University of Nottingham. So the letter of commitment, should it be from him or should it be from probably the school or the department? Should it be an individual letter from, although my supervisor may not be the only person I'm going to work with, I'm going to work with other persons in the department, but should the letter be from the department or should it be from a letter of commitment?
I would say it's good if it's coming from the department or from the university, but then obviously being signed by the supervisor would be my recommendation in this instance.
Okay, okay. So it could be from the supervisor in a university letter-headed paper, I guess.
That sounds absolutely perfect.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Okay, so maybe I will unmute the Ghana Institution for Engineering because it seems that they wanted to ask a question. Yes, you can go ahead.
Sorry, we joined late. We were having some technical challenges, but now we are on. So we just listened for a while. We don't have a question yet.
Okay.
Announce
I will send you the recording of the session so you would be able to catch up on everything that was said previously.
Okay, that'll be good. Thank you very much.
Great. Any other question?
You're unmuted. Okay, now. I'll have to ask the question.
Hello, this is Jayesh from Mauritius. Can you hear me?
Yes, Jayesh, would you mind just letting Jagadish Sobora speak? He started, so maybe I will mute you and give you and unmute you when Jagadish would have finished. Is that right? Or are you together?
Yeah, no worries. It's a joint question. So,
sorry.
All right, well, we are together. Louise there. We're together.
Okay.
We are the Institution of Engineers Mauritius. So the first question we have is whether there is any expectation from the Royal Academy of Engineering that the local party has a certain percentage of, his contribution amounts to a certain percentage, well, 20, 30 or something. Would that be a criteria?
Sorry, Jagadish, are you able to repeat that question, please?
Yeah, okay. The question is, okay, we are budgeting for the full amount from the funds. So the question is there a certain percentage of the global budget that you would expect us, the local party, to contribute?
Okay, thank you. I got you now. No, not at all. We're happy to fund the full project up to £40,000. Yes, so it's like it says in the guidance notes that for successful applicants, there will be a grant of £35,000 in December, and then providing that it's good reporting, and then we will look at paying the rest for the other £5,000. And there is no, the application doesn't get stronger because you're putting in your own funds at all. That column is simply in the budget because if the project is more expensive than £40,000, we would like to understand where the funds are going to come from.
Is there any other question? Okay, we have one from Mark Oweni.
Hello?
Yes, you can go ahead.
Okay, thanks. Thank you very much for the presentation. My question again relates to the budget. One of the things that during our search for different equipment, we found that a lot of it cannot be procured locally. So my question relates to duties and taxes. How exactly would we cater for that in the budget spreadsheet?
Sorry, there's quite a lot of background noise again, but I think for that you would just need to put it in the budget, so for the total cost of it, and then you can use the notes section to state that is the case. If there's something, if that drives the price up, so it seems unusually high, you can always explain that in the notes section.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Is there any other question?
Hello, this is Magnus. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I am president for the West Africa Federation of Engineering Organizations, which is a member of the Federation of African Engineering Organizations. A quick general question, because one of the things we seek to do is to strengthen and also develop new engineering organizations within the ECOWAS sub-region. And I wanted to find out whether we can approach this using a project, because we are looking, one of the things we are looking to do, for example, is to look at guidelines and standards within the sub-region, because almost each country has different standards, and it does pose a problem. So can we use a project to actually help develop and strengthen engineering institutions in the other neighboring countries?
Absolutely, I think that sounds like a very good proposal, and it fits the objectives very well.
So say that again.
You said that sounds like it fits the objectives very well, so I would, yeah, that, absolutely.
Okay, okay, that's fine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And another question? I can see there's someone who keeps unmuting themselves, but I can't see your name. So maybe you can just ask your question if you have one. Okay. We have another question from Jayesh. So maybe I will read it because it seems that your internet was a bit slow. And if you want to add something, you can try. So let me read it. So it says, do we need to support our estimates with actual codes for the different activities?
Hi, sorry, can you hear me?
Yes.
Great. I mean, for this budget, you don't need to actually submit any actual quotes, but I mean, it would be best practice to kind of look at 3 different quotes and then put down, you know, the best price for it. So we want you to have actual costs in there and not just estimates. But I mean, sometimes you're going to have to put in an estimate for something, but we would want you to look into actual quotes and have realistic prices on the budget, of course, but we're not asking you to submit actual quotes at this stage.
Okay. Jess, does that answer your question? Okay.
Can I ask a follow-up question, please?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Now, I mean, talking about my proposal, could we also look at, for example, like a counterpart organization, say from the UK, who we can work with, for example, to deliver this standards and codes and so on? Is that one way we could look at delivering this?
Yeah, so this is for setting up institutes in neighboring countries. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes. But we want to drive it. We want to drive it with the, for example, developments of codes and standards, because it's a good entry point to whip up interest, you know, in the neighboring countries as well. But at the same time, we also obtain the benefits of trying to harmonize our codes and guidelines and so on.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's ideally what we want the UK partnership to bring to it. We want it to be mutually beneficial, so it's also good for you if you're, I mean, if you're setting up something in a neighbouring country, but it can also strengthen your own institution. That's ideal. So I would recommend contacting a similar organisation in the UK, and if you need any help or introductions, we can try to help you facilitate that.
Okay, thank you very much.
We have another question from the Ghana Institution of Engineering. Yes, can you go ahead?
Yeah. Okay. Yes, we are looking to build an infrastructure so that we can strengthen our own institution to be able to communicate better. We've got branches within different parts of the country. And we think that by building a good infrastructure, a big part of it, of course, being ICT infrastructure, we'll be able to better communicate across the nation and also position us to communicate better with institutions like the Royal Academy and all the neighboring countries and so on. And, you know, we're just wondering if this kind of project, you know, would satisfy your expectation.
I would say, I mean, Objective 2 is to support the development of professional engineering institutes, and we are keeping it very open. So if this is something that would benefit the institute, definitely we're open to all kind of proposals. I think what you need to focus on is the justification of the project in this case and explain clearly how it will help develop the institute. But absolutely.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Is there any other question? I just have a quick question, Louise. How many grants would is there space for, or is there's no limit on the number of grants available?
There is. We're looking to give out 15 pilot grants at this stage. So for the period of December to June, we're looking for 15 pilot grants worth £40,000 each.
Okay, great. Is there any other questions?
Luis, it is Karim actually. Saying pilot grants, you implying that like you would like to emphasize on the fact that like it's something completely new, a project that is innovative, as Najat has been saying earlier. Would you like, because of this limitation, prioritize new projects completely unique, or some kind of like elements that put them forward?
Hi, Corinne. Thanks for that question. I think it's pilot grants from all sides because we haven't done this type of project. This scheme is a new scheme, so it's more pilot grants from all sides. If it's an activity that's been ongoing for an institute but needs some support to kind of get rolling, or to expand on an idea, that's not a problem. It doesn't have to be a super new, innovative idea. I mean, we are encouraging people to be creative, but also I think the most important thing is that it's actually addressing the issue or the issues that institutes or organizations are facing. So I wouldn't say that it has to be innovative.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, I think we have JS from IEM Mauritius who wants to ask another question. Yes, Trash. You can go. Okay, he's asking, for the sustainability of the project, is there a continuity in the project?
So this is, I suppose, after June, like a phase 2. Yes. So we are looking to do larger scale projects after June. Absolutely. So far, for us, this is a 2-year pilot project, and this is only the first 6 months of it. So definitely, there will be another call for proposals during 2017.
Josh, is that okay, or do you have anything else to add? Okay. Is there any other question? Okay. So Louis Jesh is asking for the answer to be repeated, please.
Yes. So, like I mentioned before, there will be a phase 2 of this. So we're looking for this at the pilot stage, and then we are going to have another call for proposals in 2017. So there will be a continuation after June. Is that all right?
Thank you.
So, Louise, would
can we put in a question? Can we put in a supplementary question? Louise, a supplementary question? The question we have is, the phase 2, I suppose, will have to be a continuity of phase 1, or do they have to be disconnected? Thank you.
It could be either. We're going to look at how those pilot projects are developing in the progress of them and the results, and all of that, and then also seeing if there's similar projects in different areas, that could potentially work together. So we're using those first months of the pilot grant to establish what's going to happen after.
Okay. So is that all right?
Yeah, thank you.
Great.
Yeah, it should be okay. We have a problem of connection here.
Okay. Okay, so I will mute you. Okay.
Okay, that's supposed to go. Did you say issue?
Sorry, did you, Jagadish? Did you say you have another question? No.
Sorry. We had a connection problem. Yeah, I suppose you answered the question satisfactorily. I think this is what we wanted to know. Though the pilot project will be complete in itself, I suppose we do complete in itself, and it will become the starting point for us to go further. Thank you.
Yeah, the line was breaking, so we didn't completely hear it.
I think the question was because your project that you're proposing is going to need longer than 6 months. Is that correct?
Yeah, we are having a connection problem. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, so I understand if the aim of the project that you're submitting needs longer than 6 months, that's not the problem. It's then looking at what activities are going to be happening for the first 6 months with the aim that this is going to go on longer. Obviously, but if you're submitting a proposal that's successful, there is no guarantee that you will get funding in phase 2.
Yeah, thank you. You made it clear. Thank you very much, Luis.
Thank you.
Yes, that was actually a question I wanted to ask, whether the call for proposal will be open for everyone, and even the people, the organization selected in phase 1 would have to reapply again, or would there be a sort of silent call for proposal for them? But yeah, you have responded to that, so that's good to know. So is there any other question?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have 15 more minutes to go. So if there's no other questions, maybe we can end in time. I can see Ryan Gould, but do you have any question, or is it fine? We can't hear you. So let me see if I can. Yeah, you have muted yourself. No, we can't hear anything. Now, if you don't have a question, it's fine. Or if you have one, just type it, or yeah. If you don't have one, it's fine. Great. So if there's no other question, I think we will end it here. I don't know whether Karim, Najat, or Louise have anything else to add.
No, I just want to say thank you to everyone for participating and for all of your questions, and also thanks to Najat and Karim for the presentation. If there is any questions or anything you would like to get in touch about, please do just contact me, send an email, or just give me a call. I will send out my contact details again to everyone who participated in the webinar. So thank you.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. So as I said, I will send the recording.
Thank you.
I will send a recording, so you would have already received the Naomi slides. So I will also forward the presentation made by Najat and Karim. So yeah, I think that's it. Thank you very much.
I would like to
Thank you,
emphasize.
Nadia.
Okay, one second. So Karim wants to add something.
I would like to thank everyone first who have attended this webinar. And at the same time, I would like to emphasize on this specific elements. The design of the project is very important. Like when you have put together every element that enable you to have like your partners and the project, the application at the end is easier because you've articulated well your ideas. And knowing that you have Louise as a resource, and it's a very important element, you have direct access to the person that are directly involved with the assessment of the application is a huge asset that you should actually, I'm sorry, Louise, if like, I'm pushing everyone in that sense, but you should use and somehow abuse it at one point to be sure that you fill properly the application and have all the chance from your side. So I would like to wish you all the best for your application, and hopefully we will hear from your project.
Thank you. Are you by any chance receiving Ryan?
Yeah, we do now. We do.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You found the problem. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, and good weekends to all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, and good luck.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Thank you. Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, bye. Thank you for the help.
No problem. Najat, can you please hand over to me so that I can end the presentation?
Here you go.
Thanks. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks. Thanks a lot.
I just want to make sure. Yeah, yeah.